welcome, welcome. If you're just new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe. Everybody else, like the video before we get started. Got a lot to talk about today.
Concierge service to senior citizens. That's exactly it. That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
So Christine called in yesterday and talked about her MyPillow towels. I made that into a commercial. And it's going to debut on the radio during the first break at like quarter after, 20 after, whatever time I take the break. It's going to debut Christine's commercial for Mike Lindell and MyPillow in that break. Here we go.
Call 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral.
It's going well, Johnny.
Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel.
Oh, it's nice out. It's like I could have worn shorts to work today. Weather's perfect here in Florida. It's going to get cold over the weekend. It's going to get down in the 30s over the weekend, so we'll get our coldest day of the year this weekend. But today is nice. It's going to be in the 70s today.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now,
Yes. Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, 45 years on the radio, and we are live Monday through Friday from 6 until 9 a.m., broadcasting on AM 1470, 95.3 FM, 96.9 on the FM radio dial. That's live in the mornings from 6 till 9. You can also hear us 7 nights a week, midnight till 6 a.m. on all those radio stations as well. During the week, we're on the radio from midnight till 9 a.m., The Steve Kane Show. And also, not only can you listen to all 9 hours on those radio stations, you can listen on iHeartRadio and the TuneIn app, searching for us by our station call letters, WWNN, 2 W's, 2 N's, and of course, my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on the YouTube. All right, well, we got a lot to talk about today, and the Democrats, they forced Breyer to retire. They've been, I tell you, the Democrats are really into elder abuse, which is something that's a big deal here in Florida with the oldest population in America, in the state of Florida. First, the elder abuse against Joe Biden that's been going on since he was campaigning from the basement. And now for the last year, they've been badgering 83-year-old Justice Breyer, and they finally forced him to retire, which he wasn't ready to do. And not only did they do that, they're so excited, these millennials and elder abusers that are running the country right now, they were so excited about it, they did not even allow Breyer to make the announcement. They jumped him on that because they were so excited to get out there talking about it. They couldn't wait a day or an hour or 10 minutes for Breyer to make the announcement. And the word on the street, not really a street, but the word in the news is that Justice Breyer is fuming over this. And, this guy has been a federal judge for over 40 years. He spent most of his adult life on a bench, not just the Supreme Court, but he was a judge before he was on the Supreme Court. And judges, especially Supreme Court justices, answer to no one. They have zero accountability. And it's a very prestigious lifetime appointment. And, it's very, very possible. it's possible that Stephen Breyer may delay his retirement. He would not be the first Supreme Court justice where a retirement has been announced and then it didn't happen for a long, long time. And he may be, it depends on how arrogant he is. I would assume because he's a Democrat, liberal Democrat, although by today's standards, he's probably not all that liberal, because I'm sure he has radical ideas like there are borders to this country and things like this, but he's not liberal enough by their standards. He could very, very well not retire this summer. He hasn't announced a date. They're pushing to have it done by the summer because they don't want to lose the Senate and not be able to get a confirmation through, which they're not guaranteed to get a confirmation through now in a 50-50 split Senate with Kamala as the tiebreaker. And if they ticked Breyer off enough yesterday, and I imagine they did, because this was supposed to be, him making this announcement was supposed to be like his big hurrah, to come out, be a big deal, make the announcement, and they took that from him because they have no sense. Democrats, one thing about Democrats, there's many reasons why Democrats fail, but one of the reasons is that they have no boundaries. Democrats have no boundaries, common decency, or respect. And in this new era of Democrat, they have no respect for older people. They really don't. You hear them talk about this. You'll hear AOC talk this way. The Parkland kids, after that tragedy, I used to hear talk this way. But AOC says, hey, listen, climate change, it's up to us because you're going to die before us because you're older than us, so your opinions don't matter. Well, there was somebody born since I opened up this show. All right, there have been children born. Is their opinion more valid than AOC? Probably more well thought out than AOC's. You understand? So they have no respect for Breyer because he's old, and they've got this Logan's Run carousel thing going on in the Democrat Party, which is also it's a mix between the Democrat Party today with these millennials. It's a mix between Logan's Run and with the carousel, and Lord of the Flies. Mix between the two, the way they operate. Children, and they want the old out. But Breyer could very well put this off. And if he puts it off even for a few weeks, they're done. They're on a very limited timeline. So they got to get this through quickly if they want to have any success. And they've got a lot of problems. They've spent the last few months telling two of their senators that they're racist, and not just telling them that they're racist in private. They've been telling the entire world that Manchin and Sinema are racist. The Arizona Republican Party just censured Sinema. So, these senators, and they're probably not alone, very well could be dragging their feet on this. So I would not be so sure that Joe Biden is going to get a Supreme Court pick. He's got that problem. He's got another problem, and that immediately he said, well, I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be a black female. Oh, really? That's interesting. That's interesting. That's the first two qualifiers, black and female. So that puts a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Now, everyone is talking about this, the fact that, and many believe, see, everything with Biden, nothing with Biden is what it seems. Everything with Biden is a scheme. It's a scheme. He's got some corrupt agenda, no matter what the topic, no matter what the issue is. Supreme Court, Ukraine, whatever it is. Biden always has some scam that he's trying to achieve to benefit himself financially. And so he works a bunch of other schemes and scams to get the big scam that he really wants done. We know that they want Kamala out. Jill hates Kamala since that first debate. Joe, and they're not getting along. You've seen multiple instances where Kamala has been in situations with Biden where he will not even talk to her and has ignored her to her face. First time I saw it that was really obvious is they went to some soup kitchen on Thanksgiving. He walked right by her, didn't even acknowledge her. You know, so there was talk for the past 6 months that they're trying to get her out of the vice presidency. And there was talk 6 months ago, that nominating her and getting her on the Supreme Court would very well be a way to go. And there's a thing in corporate America. A lot of times in corporate America, when they want to get rid of people, they don't want to get rid of them because they got that golden parachute stuff going on. So they promote them to a figurehead job, kicking them upstairs. You ever heard of these types of things in the corporate world? So I do believe that the favorite, well, now I'm not saying this is going to be, just because if Biden comes out this week, next month with a nominee, does not mean that nominee is going to be the final nominee. It is not unusual. It is not unusual for people to be nominated for all kinds of things, including the Supreme Court by presidents, and the second, third, fourth nominee is the one who actually gets it. But I do believe, regardless of what happens here in the next couple of weeks, this is what their plan is. They want Kamala out because they know he's not going to be able to run, and she's a loser. Okay? Their plan is to get her on the Supreme Court. That'll make her go away. Lifetime job, very prestigious. Okay? They're trying, and she has to play ball with this, and Kamala may not. Kamala may think that there's a path for her to become the president without an election, with Joe Biden being forced to resign for some reason due to his cognitive decline. But they're definitely trying to get Kamala to go along with this, and who knows, maybe she's already agreed to it. She's taking this trip out of the country, which keeps her away from the press, maybe from being asked about it for a few days. But their plan is this. Regardless of what ends up happening or what happens in the immediate future in the news cycles, their plan is to get Kamala on the Supreme Court to create a vice presidential opening and make Hillary Clinton the vice president of the United States. With a plan either for her to be the nominee in 24 as the sitting vice president, or maybe because Biden's decline in the last year has been so severe, they believe he will have to resign. And if he resigns after the midterms, and he has served more than half of his term, even by a day, and Hillary Clinton as vice president becomes the president, she's entitled to 2 more terms. And, Hillary, you got to understand with these people, they don't view themselves like we do, especially Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton doesn't view herself as some hated old lady hag. She thinks she's a young hipster who's beloved by women everywhere. And the thought of her getting a 10-year presidency, which is legally possible in this scenario, believe me, is on her mind, and she feels that she is owed it. So that is what is going on right now. Whether they accomplish that is a whole nother deal, but that is the scheme that they are running. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Got a lot more to bring up too on the program today, but I want to specifically hear your thoughts on what I just brought up in this first segment. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. We're going to take a break now. Yesterday, Christine from Pennsylvania called in and was talking about the great experience she has had with her MyPillow towels. I took that call and made it into a radio commercial, which is going to make its debut right now in this commercial break. So we'll take our break. We'll be right back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470.
Here comes Christine's commercial.
96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
I love my MyPillow towels. Unlike other towels, the MyPillow towel absorbs. They're soft to the touch. They come with a 10-year warranty, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Mike Lindell says towels that actually work. What a concept. But don't just take my word for it. Christine from Pennsylvania called live on the radio and shared her experience with her MyPillow towels.
I was just going to say, I bought the MyPillow, my towels, a couple weeks ago, and they are fabulous. They are the best towels I've ever used. They're just the right amount of thickness. They're not too thin, they're not too thick, and they're a great length. They're like longer than your average towel, and they are fabulous, luxurious.
You know, what's amazing to me about the MyPillow towels, Mike Lindell's a genius with his invention. It absorbs the water, and the towel's not soaking wet after.
Yes, exactly.
You know, other towels, the water just kind of lays on top of them.
Steve
They
Kane
don't
Show.
absorb it, and you're just smothering water, smearing it
Yeah.
around on your body. Now with the
Exactly.
MyPillow towels, what color did you get?
I got the sage green.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
I'm going to order because I love purple, and I'm going to have to get a purple.
Man, my wife's ordering the purple too, and she says it doesn't match our bathrooms, but she likes the purple anyway, so we're getting purple.
Who cares?
Exactly. All right, Christine, thank you so much. The MyPillow towels are normally $109.99, but with our promo code at checkout, Kane, K-A-N-E, just $39.99. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane.
Traveling, you need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, 19 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio, thanks to you and your support in this listening audience. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hey Brian, it's Mike from Massapequa.
Hey, Mike in Massapequa. What's up?
Yeah, no, you upset my appetite by bringing up Hillary as potentially getting in there as president. I was waiting for your show. Underneath the listing for your YouTube show was Fox Business giving their analysis on Kamala becoming so I clicked on it because it was like a few minutes. And Karl Rove brought up a point that they would need to have Republicans on board because Kamala, as vice president, could not, he believes, vote on a 50-50 split on nominating her for the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that would...
Well, I know Karl Rove and Alan Dershowitz have both said that, but there's a few things here. Talking about needing Republicans. There's a lot of Republicans in the Senate. Senators are many of them are very arrogant. Okay, they're very arrogant. They think they're equal to the president. They only have to run every 6 years, and they're snooty and very snobby. A lot of senators, and they think that their job is to, and you've heard what their job is, advise and consent the president on nominees. Advise them. I think they're a scumbag, but then consent to the scumbag getting the job. You understand what I mean? So but believe me, there'll be defectors in the Republican side.
I just find it hard to believe that any Republican, even like Romney, would want to go down.
Oh, sure. They advise and then they'll consent. And yeah, they'll advise and consent. And this thing about a tiebreaker vote by her, she would be through the entire, if she were nominated, she would still be the vice president of the United States and president of the Senate. she would not have to resign the vice presidency until after she was confirmed just prior to being sworn in as a Supreme Court justice. Okay? So this thing about her breaking a tie, I don't think there would be a tie. There would be enough defectors from the Republicans probably to consent to that. But I wouldn't be so sure that she could not break a tie. When they said they think, these are things that have never been tried before, right? The vice president being nominated for the Supreme Court and a tie in the Senate, that's something that's never been done before. So who's to say that they can't do it?
Scary thought. That's they also brought up. I mean, I don't like quoting Fox because
that's fine. You can quote anybody. I don't care.
But they were saying the progressives who are the pushing for right now in this Democrat Party, they have a whole list of people that they would want in there before Kamala, including like Stacey Abrams' sister.
Yeah,
used to be a judge.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they got a lot of people. They got a lot of problems. The nominees they pick are going to be younger, and there's something, and I know that they're obsessed with having a black woman, which Kamala fits that characteristic. But they have a couple problems. The generation of black Democrats that they would be pulling from, okay? Even this one lady that just got approved to be on the one federal court, that nobody was watching that. That's not the Supreme Court. This is a generation that has come up with Twitter. Who know? They're going to go back on these people's Twitter and find something about white people. You know what I mean? And also radical things in college which weren't that long. These are people that went to law school. Like I give you a great example, okay? And you'll remember this because you sound old enough to remember. Where were you when you heard the O.J. Simpson verdict?
I don't remember where I was. I was probably at work.
Yeah, well, one thing that day that I think most people will remember, CNN had it, before the O.J. verdict came in, CNN had a camera in an auditorium at Howard University watching black law students to see their reaction. And when O.J. Simpson was acquitted for murdering two white people that the overwhelming evidence proved, those Howard University students stood up and cheered like their team just won the Super Bowl, NBA Finals, and everything else. Well, that was 1995. They're very likely one of the if they're obsessed with a black woman, could have been one of those Howard University students cheering the O.J. verdict. You understand? You understand what I mean? So they're looking to pick people that are racist, radical, have a very well documented internet history of the radicalism like we've never seen before. So if they're obsessed with picking a black liberal Democrat woman, they're going to find someone with a long record of very radical and probably racist comments. And what first thing I would do if I were the Republican opposition and they nominate a black woman, even Kamala, is, and this is a tip to you guys, if anyone's listening up at Mar-a-Lago this morning, go and look up where they may have been and what they were saying and doing during the O.J. Simpson trial. And you will find, and because the way it was back then, I call that the golden age of talk radio, because we almost only heard from black liberal callers, and it was first they said O.J. didn't do it, and then when the trial evidence started coming in, the calls changed on a dime. Well, he did it, but white people have been getting away with murdering black people for 400 years, so one guy getting away with murdering two of yours is okay with us, right? And that went on for a year, and they pick a black female nominee. I promise you, they were saying things like that during the O.J. Simpson trial, during the trial and after the verdict.
And then not even to go back that far with some of these younger ones, all of these other cases like the Michael Brown and these...
Yes, George Floyd.
Just all of it.
Yes.
Being an activist, an activist is not a quiet person.
Well, they're like, exactly, especially in the age of the internet with social media. And they'll have a footprint on Occupy Wall Street, BLM, George Floyd, Rittenhouse. They're going to have a very difficult time, unless they pick somebody that's really old. And even then they'll have a tough time. But they're going to have a tough time finding a liberal black female that does not have a history of outrageous, radical, racist statements.
Well, to that point, do you think that Kamala is any better with her comments about that?
Yes. Kamala's very bad. In fact, I was talking about this on my podcast last night, which you guys should all listen to. My podcast is on most podcast platforms, and my podcast was named the number 3 must-listen-to conservative podcast of 2022. Number 1 is Mark Levin. Number 2 is The Blaze. Number 3, The Brian Craig Show podcast. So check out my podcast. I know, isn't that amazing? I know. I got goosebumps when I just said it. Well, they've got huge corporations behind them. You know, I don't have any of that, and I'm number 3.
Podcast a few times on YouTube.
Yeah.
Put it on there.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Well, thank you. But anyway, I was talking about this on my podcast last night. Tulsi Gabbard in the second Democrat debate. Okay, remember, in the first debate, Kamala humiliated Joe by talking about the truths, that he was raised by segregationists and all that. So in the second debate, they brought Tulsi Gabbard out, to destroy Kamala Harris, and she did a fine job of that. Go on YouTube and watch. But Tulsi Gabbard brought up something that would come up in a confirmation process, which would be devastating to Kamala. Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat, brought up that Kamala Harris had hid evidence from the court in a death penalty case that she was prosecuting.
Right.
I'd love to know the details of that, and we would find out at a confirmation hearing.
Oh, the person who was, all these people that were put in jail by her could come out and witness again.
Black people. She put a lot of black people in jail because their kids were truants in school too. But covering up evidence in a death penalty case, So this process I'm talking about, I'm not saying she's going to end up on the Supreme Court. What I'm saying is, the purpose of it could be to destroy her, to discredit her, to force her out of the running in 2024, because Jill Biden hates her.
I hope she's not listening to your show, because she would be given a warning not to take the nomination.
Nah, this is too early for Kamala to be up. All right, take care. Thanks for the call, Mike in Massapequa. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631 is a toll-free call. My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Back right after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Janae Lomaski. In my practice, I'm seeing that emotions are raw and the stress levels are high. A major reason for this is COVID-19. COVID-19 has become a recent staple in our lives. Even Steve Kane tested positive for COVID and endured symptoms for 3 weeks. His fears went through his new roof. Are you ruminating about getting COVID? Maybe it's so bad you're having panic attacks about it. If you have COVID worries and fear the worst, you don't have
Steve Kane Show.
There are many people that are recovering from COVID every day. There are so many mental practices you can do to get through this difficult time and move on. If you are experiencing any difficulties, call me, 561-777-2021. That's 561-777-2021. Or email me at drjlomaski@gmail.com. You can also join me live every Saturday at 11 a.m. as your psychological source. Be careful, not fearful. You don't have to do this alone.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954
Steve Kane Show.
9445 954 977 9445. Online friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, 33 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years of the Steve Kane Show on the Florida radio airwaves. All right, let's go to our phones. There's only one opening on our board, by the way, at 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, what's your name?
Calling from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Louisiana. What's up?
Hey, man, you doing all right this morning?
I'm doing pretty good, yeah.
Okay. One thing. You was talking about Stephen Breyer was mad because they made the announcement yesterday. He knows how it works. He knows the minute he said that they were going to say something. So that's moot to me. And another thing, you're talking about the black women that may be nominated for the court, that although they may be nominated are radical and racist. How do you know that's true?
Okay, because if you look at the modern what I consider racist, you wouldn't. The modern Democrat woman today, that is of the age they're looking at, okay, is like Joy Reid. Okay, and Joy Reid is a racist. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Disagree.
You disagree? Sorry, you disagree that Joy Reid's a racist. Okay, so that's interesting. But she would be typical. She would be the typical personality type that they would be looking at to put on the Supreme Court if they're going to pick a black Democrat woman.
So, are you saying all black Democrat women are racist?
No, but I'm saying the ones they will be looking at that are acceptable to the Democrat Party today are.
The way I got it from you this morning, that you think all black Democratic women are racist.
No, I don't. No, I just said that's not true. Don't stereotype me.
The way I got it, because what I was getting ready to say, so you talk about all black women. So I'm like, okay.
No, I didn't say all black women. I'm talking about the pool of people. They would be, then your listening comprehension is not that great. But I'm talking about the pool of women that they would be choosing a nominee from.
Why do you insult people? Why do you insult people like that don't disagree with you? That disagree, that don't follow your mindset? Why do you do that?
Do you feel insulted? I mean, you thought that I said something that I didn't, so obviously your listening comprehension skills are poor, or you would have gotten exactly what all Democrat women are not eligible to be on the Supreme Court from a Biden pick.
Yeah, but you're saying that, and I'm like, okay, why is he saying that? And it's like, every time you talk about Kamala, her name is Kamala. Stop doing it. I know you can do anything you want. That show.
It's America. It's America.
So I can call you. Well, I can't mispronounce your name because we can't mispronounce Brian.
What's that? If you have another way to pronounce Brian, if you want to call me Brian, you know, and make it say, you know, or something, you can do that. If there's another way to pronounce Brian, you know, this thing about Kamala Harris and her name, Kamala. The reason that I would like to know what her mother and father called her, and I bet it was Kamala. The reason she got into this Kamala thing is to try to be more interesting and exotic, because she lacks personality.
Well, my mother and father, I'm not going to tell you my name, but name. And they call me my nickname.
Uh-huh.
So, what's that got to do with anything? I mean...
I don't know. I mean, you're the one that brought up how to pronounce her name. So I don't know I don't know why that was important to the discussion at all.
And that's what I'm talking about. When you
let's get out of the pettiness. Would you mind seeing Kamala Harris on the Supreme Court? Would that make you happy?
No, they're not going to, because she's vice president.
That doesn't mean she can't be on the Supreme Court. No, I'm asking you, would you have a problem with her being on the Supreme Court?
She wasn't vice president yet, but she's vice president.
Well, she wouldn't be vice president then.
She's vice president now. And you know fully well they're not going to do this. So why do you?
No, we don't know that. And in fact, you know, in fact, do you know who William Howard Taft was?
No, I don't.
Oh my goodness, really? William Howard Taft, he was president of the United States. President Taft? Yeah, do you know what he did after he was president? Well, he ended up on the Supreme Court of the United States and was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court after he was president. So, you know, and she's just vice president. So there's nothing, these things can happen. What's that?
Was he president at the time?
You can only hold one federal office at a time. I'm sure you're familiar with Dwight D. Eisenhower. When he received the nomination, when he received the nomination to be president of the United States at the Republican convention, he was still a 5-star general in the Army. He had to resign his commission in the Army to run for president. You can't hold two offices at once. They resign. And
once, how you even know? That's not even probably her mind right now.
Because vice president, okay? Who was George Bush 41's vice president? That's right. Who was Jimmy Carter's vice president? Yeah, okay, that's right. Vice presidents are forgotten people. You know, she has an opportunity to have a lifetime appointment at a relatively young age for offices like this and be a historic figure, because going from the vice presidency to the court.
She already a historic figure. She's the first black woman vice president. She already is. So why?
No, because vice president, that's no big deal. We had a black president for 2 terms. This is nothing.
You think that wasn't a big deal?
It sure was. But her accomplishment is not significant compared to that.
Sitting there, I listen to you every morning, and you talk about black people. Then I said, isn't his daughter black?
Yes.
Why would you talk about black people like that? And it's like, black.
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked that question. It gives me an opportunity to answer it. There's a reason why I talk about issues involving black and white relations in this country. I have one child, a daughter, right? She's biracial. My entire family line forever will be people of color. I have no other children, so all my grandchildren and descendants from now until the end of time will be minorities, will be people of color. So I have a vested interest in black and white relations in this country going very well and not taking us back to this Jim Crow era that the Democrats are trying to put us in.
You do. I don't think you do.
What do you think?
I don't think you do. I think you really... I don't think you care about black and white.
Oh, really? Well, if I don't care about black people, why did I adopt a black child?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, try to make sense of it. If I'm a racist, why would I do something like that?
Maybe you had a affair with a black woman. That's the basis.
No, my daughter's adopted.
Okay, I don't know that.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you, and it's well known that my daughter's adopted.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Well, maybe I'm not a racist. Have you considered that?
I'm not saying you're racist.
You've been implying it, sure. You can't figure out how to adopt a black child.
I'm not saying you're racist. I'm saying I'm like, why does he smoke? I think you do that just to keep your radio show.
Just keep it. Yeah, my daughter's going to be 23 in 2 months. You think that I adopted a child who was biracial just as some type of protection on racial discussions on the radio? The largest expense that my wife and have is our daughter.
What I'm saying is, hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, hello. Oh, I got phone problems now?
Yeah, what I'm saying is the reason you always bring up the racist thing, because the race thing, because I think a lot of your people that listen to your show are racist, and they love listening to you talk like that. So keep your ratings up.
What did I say? What have I said that's racist?
You're not racist. You're not racist.
What have I said that's racist? That would cater to a racist?
You always compare. You always compare like we as black people. We are black Democrats. That we are the most sorriest people in this world. We don't care about this country. We don't care.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think, no. I don't think you're uncaring. I just think, you didn't even know who President Taft was. So I just think you're uninformed. I just think you don't know what's going on.
Oh, I couldn't think of it at the time.
Couldn't think of it. I mean, you didn't even know that Dan Quayle was Bush.
I wouldn't vote for Trump.
Well, yeah, because you're uninformed. If you were informed, you would be voting for Trump.
I voted for a Republican mayor, which I think he's a good.
Who cares? Why'd you vote for Biden?
Because I thought he was a good candidate.
Give me a specific example of something that made him a good candidate. Was it his opposition to the desegregation of the public school systems? What about Joe Biden do you think made him a good candidate, specifically?
What? Okay, maybe his opposition to desegregation was way back in the day. Maybe that's back in the day, but he doesn't have that now.
Okay, so tell me something that made him a good candidate today, and it can't be he's not Trump. Something he does, something he's done.
He cares about this country. He's going to...
Really, he cares? Give me an example of something he's done in the last year that shows he cares about this country.
What's this gas talking?
Yeah, you can't think of it. I know, exactly. Yeah, when you think of it, call back. All right, let's take our last break of the first hour. If you're on hold, stand by. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll be back after this.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting.
Yeah, I was waiting for the mic drop moment because I was up on a break.
And go to our website to see our team and past.
So I was waiting for the right moment to drop the mic on that. Go to the break.
604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
I love my Pillow towels. Unlike other towels, the My Pillow towel absorbs. They're soft to the touch. They come with a 10-year warranty, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Mike Lindell says towels that actually work. What a concept. But don't just take my word for it. Christine from Pennsylvania called live on the radio and shared her experience with her My Pillow towels.
I was just going to say, I bought the My towels a couple weeks ago, and they are fabulous. They are the best towels I've ever used. They're just the right amount of thickness. They're not too thin, they're not too thick, and they are a great length. They're like longer than your average towel, and they are fabulous, luxurious.
You know, what's amazing to me about the MyPillow towels, Mike Lindell's a genius with his invention. It absorbs the water, and the towel's not soaking wet after.
Yes, exactly.
You know, other towels, the water just kind of lays on top of them. They don't absorb it, and you're just smothering water, smearing it around on your body. Now with the MyPillow towels, what color did you get?
I got the sage green.
Ooh,
But
yeah.
I'm going to order because I love purple, and I'm going to have to get a purple.
Man, my wife's ordering the purple too. She says it doesn't match our bathrooms, but she likes the purple anyway, so we're getting purple.
Who cares?
Exactly. Exactly. All right, Christine, thank you so much. The MyPillow towels are normally $109.99, but with our promo code at checkout, Kane, K-A-N-E, just $39.99. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
All right, we are back 12 minutes before the top of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. PJ. Hey, PJ, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. I'm fascinated by this whole subject on Kamala Harris. But the thing is, if she's nominated, I mean, she does horrible in interviews, and she's going to be thoroughly interviewed on camera in the Senate, and they can't say, "Oh, you got to go easy on her," because guess what? She was like Torquemada towards Kavanaugh when she was in her. She was brutal. So I don't see, and they can ask her anything. They could say, "Show us how your policies, your borders are. What did you?"
Yeah, and the Republicans can even go and talk to Willie Brown's wife. But PJ, here's the. He thought I was going to say Willie Brown, right? Here's that would be a great interview. I'd love to see that. But here's the thing: Jill Biden hates Kamala, and maybe a public humiliation would be the purpose of it, not to actually get her on the court.
But if it doesn't get her on the court, I don't know what purpose it's going to serve. It's just going to make everybody look bad.
I don't think she would make it. I think that Tulsi, on a more serious, less, thing. That case that Tulsi Gabbard talked about, where she hid evidence from the court in a death penalty case that her office was prosecuting in California, future, and Jill and Nancy don't like her; they hate her, and they may this floating this idea. I'm not saying is to get her on the court; it's to destroy her reputation and humiliate her, so that she doesn't run in 2024. It could also be the plan here.
Yeah. By the way, what are the possibilities that Breyer is so pissed off about the jumping the gun on the announcement, leaking it? That he ends up saying, "What? I never said I'm not making any announcement."
Or he just puts it off. I mean, if he just puts it off a few months, they're done because we're up in the election. So they got he very well could end up not resigning, not retiring, and also could end up dragging it out.
And then there's another problem. Like, okay, let's say they do get her on the court, which I don't think would happen, but let's say they do. They have to replace her. Who?
Hillary.
I don't know if she'd get confirmed. And then you know what? Here's the deal. Without Kamala Harris there as a tie-breaking vote, the Republicans. So I don't see the Republicans voting.
I don't think Biden could get a Supreme Court nominee through. I don't think they could. Period. Kamala or anyone else. I don't think he could do it.
This all reminds me of what Obama said. I can't say the whole thing, but, about Biden. He says, don't underestimate the ability of Biden to F things up.
That's right. Yeah, and Joe Biden and Obama, President Obama also said that every decision Joe makes is the wrong one.
Yeah. There's some people like that. I've known people like that. No matter what they do, it's always, without fail, it's always the wrong decision.
Hillary Clinton's the same way.
Yeah, it's like almost supernatural how they can always make the wrong choice all the time.
See, what will end up happening is Kamala, people are going to start talking more and more about these scandalous things about Kamala. They want to pave the way for Hillary in 2024, and Kamala's in their way.
But I don't know. You know what? I think it's going to be a train wreck.
That's great.
Thing is, it's like Chuck Todd yesterday. I mean, he was like jumping for joy. Chuck. I haven't seen Chuck Todd so happy in the past year.
Maybe they decided not to replace him on Meet the Press. Maybe that's why he was jumping up and down.
Well, it could be, but I think he was just happy because he considered this great news for Biden somehow. But
no. He couldn't get there. I don't think he couldn't get the Build Back Better through. I don't think he could get a nominee through. I do not think, and the way that they've behaved with Manchin and Sinema, they're done. They don't have them in their pocket, and no, I don't think that he could get a nominee through. And if Breyer does retire and there is an open vacancy, it's going to be the new MAGA Senate holding things up, and they could hold it up forever. They really could.
Yeah. Right. By the way, I think you just started a song there. Did you hear yourself rhyme it? If Breyer would retire.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to sing. You'll never hear me sing.
But I think he could screw things up royally now. He could say, "I'm not announcing."
Has he officially announced it? Has he officially made an announcement?
No. He hasn't. And he can wait if he promised he'd leave. He says, "Yeah, okay. Guess what? I'm not announcing it till I feel like it."
Yeah, so maybe exactly, and maybe they jumped it's already been reported they jumped the gun. Maybe they jumped the gun entirely to try to force him out. Maybe he's not going to announce he's retiring. Maybe they're trying to embarrass him into doing it.
I saw something yesterday. Like somebody noticed that Ron Klain hasn't said anything about it. Everybody's suspecting that he was the guy that leaked it.
Yeah. All right, PJ, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good.
Oh, hey, Richie.
First of all, they said that the leading candidate is on the bench already.
No, that woman on television that just got on the other federal court. I haven't heard Biden come out and nominate anyone.
No, but three Republicans voted for this woman to confirm.
That's correct.
The bottom line is this lady that called from Louisville.
She's not the leading contender. The media is saying that she's the leading contender.
That just called you up and said basically that you're a racist.
You sure that's a lady? That from Louisiana? That might be a man. I'm not sure.
I know they're still listening, okay? The person that, first of all, when President Trump said he was going to have a Supreme Court justice, he had a list of 20 names of constitutionalists that believed in the Constitution. So he nominated somebody off of that list. The lady that's being nominated by President Biden is being nominated not because she's a constitutionalist, she's black.
Yes.
I'm totally against nominating a black woman because of the color of her skin. I am not against nominating a black woman for her character and her ability and her record.
And it really shows you how out of date Biden is. Biden, he's a lot of times with cognitive decline, Alzheimer's and things, people are reverting. They think it's like decades ago. He thinks it's a big deal for a black woman to be a federal judge. He's like, whoa, look what I did. There are black judges that are women all over the country. And how many women are on the court right now? 4?
There were, what, 2?
4? No, we got the wise Latina. We got the other lady. I think there's 4 women on the court now.
He's playing qualifications. He nominated.
Why isn't he appointing a non-binary transgender like that swimmer or whatever that, why is it a gay?
This guy nominated Kamala because she was a black woman. How has that worked out for America?
I know. All right, take care. I like Richie, but I heard him say word for word what I heard people say on Fox yesterday. Word for word. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I don't believe Hillary Clinton's going to be nominated for anything. Anybody that would confirm her would put a nail in their reelection bid. She is unelectable, hated, and despised even by a lot of Democrats. We ought to put that to rest. Hillary Clinton's career is over.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that.
You mean to tell me the people around her wouldn't tell her that?
No, because if they told her that, they wouldn't be around her anymore.
That's right. They might suicide.
Jeff, I gotta let you go. You can't talk that way. Good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes. Hello.
Brian, what if they nominate Kamala for the Supreme Court, and before he names a new vice president, Pelosi enacts the 25th Amendment?
Well, Pelosi cannot enact the 25th Amendment. It's not in her... The vice president can only do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would she not be acting as vice president?
No. We would have a vacancy. We wouldn't have a vice president until Biden nominated a new one, and there's a process in the House that they have to go through.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, you did,
So
Jeff.
we are protected from Pelosi then?
Well, I don't know if we're ever protected from Pelosi. She's an evil woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Nancy Pelosi, who announced her, I know she's a bad, evil person. Nancy Pelosi is running for office again, right? She announced the other day, I played her creepy announcement. The reason she's running, have you thought about this? Why would Pelosi run when she's obviously not going to be the speaker if the red wave is successful, which all the polls show, right? They have, 29 or 30 Democrats are not running for re-election. I'll tell you why. I'm not going to tease it and tell you after the break. I'm going to tell you right now. For her to be the minority leader, and even being the leader is not an assured thing, right? She'll win her seat in San Francisco. She'll be in Congress. But she's not guaranteed to be the minority leader. She could just be a regular ranking Democrat. I believe it's because she is involved in so much corruption with this insider trading and everything else that she wants to stay in Congress to try to keep people off her back and looking into her crimes. That's what I think. The new Congress that comes in, when we come in with a majority, it's not going to be your regular Republican majority in both houses of Congress. It's going to be a MAGA majority. And the MAGA people that are going to be the majority in both houses of Congress are going to be looking into the insider trading of Nancy Pelosi and crimes of other people, including Joe Biden. Okay? So I think she's running for her freedom. Frankly, Nancy Pelosi, she thinks she can still control the situation if she's in the House of Representatives, even if she's not the Speaker, even if she's not the leader of the Democrats in the House. It's really a desperate move. All right, it's 7:01. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be back with the second hour after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Yes, Jeff. On the radio, okay, we're on AM and FM radio stations. There are standards and practices and FCC regulations. And there are some things that you might say to your friends on the phone or in the living room that you can't say on the radio. And There was the one thing you said that you can't talk that way on the radio.
That can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely.
No, it's okay. Don't be sorry.
We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance if we can't get anything done there.
Yeah, there's the FCC. There's things you can't say.
Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course, we'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that. And even
Steve Kane Show.
in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214, or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1.
Yes. All right, 4 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years on the radio waves of Florida. The Steve Kane Show. That's right. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We're talking about this Supreme Court pick of Kamala Harris. And I'll go back to your calls in just a moment. But first, I got to tell you guys, did you know that the Thomas Edison of sleep, Mike Lindell, the inventor of the MyPillow, is fighting, he's being sued in a defamation lawsuit for $1.3 billion. That's with a B, $1.3 billion. I know. Isn't that something? Why? Because he stands up for Trump. He stands up for MAGA. He won't back down. $1.3 billion with a B. They're suing him personally, and they're suing MyPillow. Can you believe this? Mike Lindell, I saw him on an interview, and the interviewer said, how can people who want to help and support you, what can they do? He said, go to MyPillow and buy something. He says, because every bit of money I make, I'm pouring into Frank's speech, and I'm pouring into everything legal that I'm dealing with. So that's the best way. It's that you can help him. That's what Mike Lindell said. $1.3 billion defamation suit. And when you use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, you will find incredible deals on MyPillow products. And you're not just standing with Mike Lindell, you're also supporting the Steve Kane Radio Show at the same time. Now I tell you, I woke up this morning, as I do every morning, on my MyPillow mattress topper, which is just life-changing. Just life-changing. It will change your life. You will sleep in complete peace and serenity. When you wake up, that MyPillow mattress topper is amazing. And with our promo code at checkout, KANE, on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes, the 3-inch mattress topper with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, 30% off. And you get 2 free MyPillows. That's right. It will change your life. And for Valentine's Day, what a better gift than the MyPillow bathrobe. His and hers MyPillow bathrobes. Oh, man. They make great Valentine's Day gifts. Right around the corner, Valentine's Day. 30% off the MyPillow bathrobes with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. They have a whole bunch of new colors in for men and women, including pink for the ladies. And they also have a new style. My wife and I got the his and her bathrobes from MyPillow last Valentine's Day. We have the heavy robes. They now have a new lighter robe. No supply chain issues either. Everything in stock. And whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of it with our promo code KANE at checkout. Mike Gallagher specials, War Room specials, Sean Hannity specials, whatever it says, you can take advantage of with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. Also, order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, KANE. Support and stand with Mike Lindell and the Steve Kane Show. Promo code KANE, KANE. All right, to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How you doing, Brian? Good.
Good. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bill from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Bill in Pennsylvania. I'm doing great. What's up?
Good. Just a question for you. And I know you talked about this. You touched on it a second ago about Nancy Pelosi. But being the Speaker of the House, and somehow she invokes the 25th Amendment, okay, with the cabinet, I think that places her into the presidency. But you made a good point. She's probably playing the long game where she's going to stay in the Senate to try to protect herself.
The House? You mean the House? Pelosi? Yeah, people that are involved in corruption in public office often try to stay in office to control things. And that's the only reason she's doing this. Because she is involved in so many dirty dealings. I mean, like that one guy from 60 Minutes was talking about she got involved in an IPO, and then I can't remember what company it was, maybe somebody can remember, and there was legislation that passed under her in the House that she voted on that made her stocks shoot to the moon. So she's a crook, and she's a dirty one. She's just as bad as Biden.
You're speaking of this. Now, the other day we spoke about... Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about Jesse Waters' show, okay? He's digging deep now. Did you see that? He's bringing Pelosi up. He's bringing Biden up. His show is no more just a bluster about him. He's going...
Yeah, I did watch Jesse Waters' night 2, but I did watch it last night. And I thought I was watching somebody fill in for Tucker Carlson. The show got real serious. Yeah, he's got well, what happened was they had the disaster pilot episode Monday, and like with many pilots of a television show, they retooled them, and they changed it up. But I'll tell you this: well, because people like me spoke up about how disastrous night 1 was. But do you know who the number 1 guest was on Greg Kelly last night on Newsmax?
You have to watch Greg.
Well, this was interesting. I thought this was unusual. His top guest on Greg Kelly last night, opposite Jesse Waters, was none other than Mr. Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly, who made Jesse Waters a star, went on Newsmax against him last night. I thought that was. You think that was a coincidence?
Well, yeah, but remember, O'Reilly is no longer a Fox host. He was a Fox host.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it very well could be more than a coincidence.
Okay, but we're getting the best of both worlds here.
Yeah, I mean, I said from the beginning I liked Jesse Waters. I didn't say I didn't like Jesse Waters. I like Greg Kelly too.
You did.
Yeah.
The best of both worlds, which is good.
Yeah, but he has gotten the show. He did get the show a little more serious. I know, a little more serious.
You have a great day.
All right, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Mike, it's evident that...
Oh, hey, Doug.
Interesting you said that, because I was watching and I said, wow, Bill O'Reilly on Newsmax.
At the same time that Jesse Waters was on, yeah.
And I thought that was a little odd, but I said, but maybe he doesn't care, but I think...
I don't know. Maybe it was a coincidence, but I probably wouldn't want to go on against the person that I created unless I had a beef with him.
Yeah, but I don't know. These things are strange, but I thought it was a little odd. Certainly odd. I mean, Newsmax is the up and coming, and I think the #1 show at that time.
They will eventually. They're not on as many cable systems as Fox, but you know what? Fox wasn't either. It took a while for Fox debuted in 1994, and it wasn't until after the 2000 election that they started becoming so popular. They were on for years before they became #1.
Yeah, well, I certainly think Greg Kelly is the best, but we'll soon see what happens between him and who's going to rule that time slot. But I think it's going to be Greg Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris, I think she has zero chance. I think the Democrats, as evil as they are, hate her just as much as everybody else does.
Well, that's what I was talking about, Doug, is I'm not saying Kamala Harris is going to be on the Supreme Court. But the process, even a discussion like we're having, which everyone in the news is talking about. They were even asking Psaki about it, who would not deny it yesterday. Even talking about her will bring up scandal. I believe they are using at least the discussion of it, and maybe a talk of a nomination, to destroy her reputation, to get control of her. They hate her.
I was thinking, I figured if Biden didn't open his mouth and say he's going to pick a woman, I thought he was going to pick Obama. But I guess unless Obama wants to put some lipstick on, he's not going to...
Obama would, that would be, an interesting thing to do. If he, if he were to, Biden, nominate Obama for the Supreme Court, that would be very interesting. He would be, boom, he'd get it.
He'd get it for sure.
Yeah, but I don't think, even as lazy as that job is, they don't do anything. Their clerks do all the work. They just have to sit there and listen, from time to time. And I don't even know how many days a year do they actually sit up at that bench, and there's no accountability. That's still probably too much responsibility for Barack Obama these days.
Yeah, I think he's making too much money on the side. Probably doesn't want to lose his...
Who says he would stop making money on the side? As it slowed Biden down, Biden's still making money on the side. Pelosi still makes money all over the place.
Yeah, and I'm hoping what you just said about Pelosi is 100% correct. If mega people get in, they definitely need to investigate her in particular.
Mm-hmm. All right, Doug, take care. Hey, thanks for the call, Conservative Doug. A New Jersey school district is changing the name of Woodrow Wilson High School due to President Wilson's racist values. The Camden City School District changed the high school's name during Tuesday's school board meeting. The change will be official in the 2022-23 school year. The school will be named Eastside High School. Eastside High School, isn't that the high school from High School Musical? Several community members have raised concern about the school being named after Wilson. Yeah, well, because of his racist values. This is another example of a long-term Democrat scheme, okay? Woodrow Wilson was a Democrat. And like all the old Democrats, like Biden, racist, segregationist, Klansman, okay? And the Democrats are going around renaming these things all over the country, and almost every time, there's an exception to the rule on rare occasion, but most of the time, like the Teddy Roosevelt statue, Ben Stiller must be really pissed about Night at the Museum over that, but most everything they rename because of a person's racist past, they're a Democrat. And what the Democrats are doing is wiping out the racist history of the Democrat Party. They're still racist, by the way, but they're wiping this out because people know Woodrow Wilson was a Democrat. In fact, Woodrow Wilson. Do you know what the most famous quote of Woodrow Wilson is? Woodrow Wilson viewed what is considered to be the most racist movie ever made, The Birth of a Nation, Have any of you seen Birth of a Nation? It's on YouTube, I'm sure, for free. It's 100 years old. But the Birth of a Nation is a movie. It's a very long silent film, and it takes part in. It's in two parts, right? The first part is pre and during the Civil War. The second part of the movie is after the Civil War, and after the defeat of the South, the heroes in the second part of the movie, Birth of a Nation, are the Ku Klux Klan. And they're black characters in the film are made to look like apes. It's the most racist thing you've ever seen. And the black Republicans come to town and assault a woman, and the Ku Klux Klan come to the rescue. Very racist movie, The Birth of a Nation. And that movie was shown to President Wilson in the White House. I've heard it said it was the first movie shown in the White House from Hollywood. I don't know if that part's true, but after he watched the movie, Woodrow Wilson's most famous quote is this, and you can verify all this online, this Democrat Woodrow Wilson. This is the greatest film ever made. Now, there are only 3 movies made. It's silent, but you know, the greatest movie ever made. It tells a story that needs to be told that should have been told long ago. That's Woodrow Wilson, another racist Democrat. So anytime they rename something, now if you're watching on Fox or Newsmax, they'll tell you he was a Democrat. But if you're watching MSNBC or CNN, they're not going to mention that Woodrow Wilson was a Democrat. They're wiping out their own history because, you know, what happens now with the internet, you know, some kid, he's going to Woodrow Wilson High School in New Jersey, and he Googles Woodrow Wilson and finds out he was a Democrat. Oh, my goodness. And a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, that's right. So that's what they're doing. All right, let's take our first break of the second hour. 18 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back right after this.
With diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to 1 pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide
I lost the internet on my iPad.
To stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Do you think you've
Steve Kane Show.
someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now at Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID.
Oh my gosh.
And I needed results right away, so I went to any
Oh my goodness.
now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stand in line
Yeah.
for 2 hours and have a swab
Yeah.
stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant.
Oh my gosh. Things have changed. All right, how's everything else going?
Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also test
That's funny. How's everything else going? The recorded with you? Okay. You got it. Sounds good. That's okay. Okay, take care. Bye.
Lab test now of Boca is in the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237.
He needs a victory. You know, here we are a year in to Biden. We're a year into Biden, a little bit more than that. We're a year and a week into Biden, and we do not have one single victory for Biden. I mean, look what's going on now with Kamala, right? She's going down to Central America for this inauguration, down to Latin America. She's going to discuss the root causes of migration to the United States. She doesn't have to have a summit meeting with foreign leaders in Latin America. Here's the reason, right? Why are so many people what is that noise? I don't know. There's some strange noise in the other room. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the radio. I don't know. I'm not hearing it in my headphones, but I'm hearing it in my ears. Anyway, I don't know what that noise is. But it is hold on, let me listen. Oh, there's an alarm clock going off somewhere in the building, and it's driving me nuts. Do you guys hear it? Oh my goodness. Hopefully it'll reset. I don't know, can you hear that, Rich Allen, in the other room? It's probably an alarm clock that is in someone's locked office in the building, and since it's only 7:24 in the morning, we're not going to be able to get in there and turn it off. All right, anyway, where was I? I forgot where I was because of the alarm clock. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That is... Okay, it stopped. Did you hear that, or was it just me?
I only heard it when I walked down the hall.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes it impossible.
It was very strange. It's very strange noise. I lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was talking about because I was so distracted by that. But oh yeah, Biden getting a victory. Biden needs a victory, and he needs it bad. You know, Stephen Breyer might be 83 years old, but he's not like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was comatose, literally, and I don't say that to be mean. Remember seeing her at the White House with Trump? She wasn't even awake. Literally, she wasn't. So he doesn't have to retire, and he's got many years ahead of him. You know, and I haven't heard anything negative about his health. The reason they're doing this is because Biden desperately needs some kind of victory. Now, the great Marjorie Taylor Greene. Is there anyone out there that doesn't love Marjorie Taylor Greene? Oh, man. I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's my favorite member of the House of Representatives. Who in the House of Representatives is better than Marjorie Taylor Greene? Oh, man, I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. But she brought up something yesterday. I'll play you the clip, and it was just a quick clip, but I'll expand on it because I think Marjorie Taylor Greene has hit...
...to have happened, and I'm so glad you have saved their...
Yeah, see, okay. She said, Marjorie Taylor Greene said, Ukraine has dirt on Hunter Biden, Ukraine has dirt on Joe Biden, and they're blackmailing him with it, and that is why he is ramping things up with a conflict that's been talked about for years now. The only thing new is Biden ramping things up. And here's the deal, okay, because I want you to think about this. We know, think about it, when they have blackmail material on Hunter Biden, and it's not just financial scandals. You know, we know what a scumbag Hunter is, right? Hunter Biden, how many videos have you seen with Hunter Biden doing drugs with a prostitute, right, that have made their way online? What do you think he does when he's in Ukraine? You know, Hunter, when he travels abroad, this is, you know, this new Peter Schweizer book is just a fountain of information about the Biden family corruption. And one of the things that came out that I thought was very interesting is that when Hunter travels out of the United States, he's told the Secret Service to stay behind and not accompany him. I'm sure he has security, but it's private. Biden family security, because he doesn't want them logging officially where he's at, where he's going, where he's been, and who he's meeting with. And if you think Hunter Biden carries on here, can you imagine how he carries on in Ukraine or China? Right? Because he's like a big fish, like a big whale comes to Vegas, to the casino in Vegas, and what do? Right? They treat them like kings, give them everything, free everything, because they gamble a lot. Well, that's Hunter. And Joe Biden, we know about that shakedown he did in Ukraine to get that prosecutor off of the company that had Hunter on the board. Remember that? So what Marjorie Taylor Greene's talking about is they have video, scandalous video of Hunter, and I'm sure it's in better quality than what we've seen from Hunter and with his own laptop recordings. And they have recordings of Joe over there in Ukraine doing things. That, you know, it's an interesting thing because they were always talking about this fake Russian dossier about Trump. And what the fake dossier said, it's so stupid, it's so absurd, nobody buys it. What the Russian dossier, that fake Russian dossier about Trump, what it said was this. This is what it alleged. Can you believe, and they had investigations over this. When I tell you what it says, you'll be like, that's so stupid, I can't believe they wasted time on it. That President Trump, when he wasn't president, visited Moscow, I guess it was for Miss Universe. He stayed in the same hotel room that Obama stayed in. When he visited Russia, he hired 2 Russian prostitutes to urinate on the bed that Obama slept in as an insult to Obama while he watched and pleasured himself. And Putin has this all on video and was using this to blackmail President Trump to do his bidding. I know, it's ridiculous. Well, those types of videos exist for Hunter and Joe out of Ukraine, is what Marjorie Taylor Greene. And you know, the way that the left operate, the way that the Democrats operate, is that they accuse, it's right out of Rules for Radicals, Saul Alinsky, accuse your opponent of doing what you're doing. So when you hear these dirty dealings that they're always accusing Trump of, they're the ones doing them. Right out of Rules for Radicals, their guidebook on how to do these things. So that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene. So think about this. We got a corrupt public official, this senile old coot, Joe Biden. They got video of him over there in Ukraine. And his drug-addicted son, who's involved in all kinds of god-awful things. We can only imagine what they get him hooked up with over there that they have evidence of. And he's ramping things up with Russia and Ukraine because of that. And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, people got to remember, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a senior member of the United States House of Representatives, and she's very popular among her colleagues as well. So when Marjorie Taylor Greene says something like that, that's just not some rhetoric that somebody on some blog on a Reddit board said. She is an insider in Washington, D.C., and they know everything that's going on. So she's getting this information from people that are in the know, Marjorie Taylor Greene. So you really need to take that as a serious, serious thing. Now, I was telling you guys the other day, you know, after that press conference of Joe Biden, when he was just, out of it, that if Joe Biden went and took advantage of the free consultation that Dr. Matez over the biostation is offering and discussed hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Mitch Matez, and he began hormone replacement pellet therapy, he'd be a new man. He'd be like the Joe Biden we knew back in the 80s and 90s when he was with it. He'd get his energy back. He would look younger. He'd feel younger. He'd be awake when he was on television. It would be life-changing. I told you this. I'm a patient of Dr. Matez. I know about hormone replacement pellet therapy. I know it works because it works on me. I've experienced it. I'm a patient. I have met so many listeners over the years at events. First time I meet them, they're like Biden. Right? Hey, Brian, listening for a long time, you and Steve. They're like tired old men. But, you know, that's normal. Part of the aging process is that your body produces less hormones that give you energy. They give you your sex drive, your ability to have sex, all these things. Part of the aging process is a reduction in your hormones. Hormone replacement pellet therapy, which is 100% all natural, replaces those hormones that you lose as you grow older. So I'll see these guys, they're like Biden, some even worse. Then I'll see them the next time, and I can tell when they walk up to me before they say hello that they're a patient of Dr. Mitch Matez. Sometimes I don't even recognize them. The transformation is so... And they're like, hello, Brian, proud to meet you. I met you before over at Wings Plus, and, you know... And I'll tell them, oh, you're a patient of Dr. Mitch Matez, hormone replacement pellet therapy. That's right, how'd you know? And I'll tell them the story. And they're like, wow, I didn't realize how bad I was. Yeah, I know. And in women, oh man, if you're suffering with menopause, hormone replacement pellet therapy in women not only stops dead in its tracks menopause, all the signs and symptoms, it reverses them. Mood swings gone. That's right. Night sweats gone. Vaginal dryness gone, and everything's reversed as well. And it also restores your ability to have sex, both in men and women, and restores the sex drive in both men and women. Call Dr. Mitch Matez at the BioStation. Now, when you call, make sure you mention you heard about them on the radio. Then you get a free consultation with Dr. Matez. Everybody else has to pay for that consultation. But if you mention you heard it on the radio, it's a completely free consultation with Dr. Mitch Matez. Here's the number, 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. That's Dr. Mitch Matez at the BioStation, 561-320-8893.
Pandemic hit America, our nation was caught off guard and unprepared. One of the biggest problems was we didn't have enough PPE because everything was made in China. There is a solution to this problem. Small Business Development Group has formed strategic manufacturers to produce medical exam gloves and associated raw materials right here in the USA. This way, supply chain issues will never be a problem again. This project is U.S. funded, owned, and managed. Best of all, it's without reliance on the foreign supply chain. Investing in this critical infrastructure is important to the safety and defense of America. Now, here's where you come in. If you're an entrepreneur, venture capitalist, or high net worth individual interested in this investment opportunity, contact Small Business Development Group at 919 area code 654-6870. 919 area code 654-6870. Learn more about this incredible opportunity. 919-654-6870.
Small Business Development Group is a publicly traded company. Stock symbol SBDG. Online at c2cpic.com. Find strategic manufacturers online at strategicmanufacturers.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
I was just reading the Daily Mail, and you remember Bridget Fonda? Henry Fonda's granddaughter, Peter Fonda's daughter? Haven't seen her in a movie in over 10 years. They have a photograph of Bridget Fonda that they say is Bridget Fonda. There is no way that is Bridget Fonda. They have got to be wrong about this. Oh my goodness. I'm not even, this looks so bad. She looks so bad. I'm not even going to tweet this story. It looks so bad. But anyway, it's a sideline on a story that I wanted to share with you. This, this situation in New York City is beyond out of control. And let me just read this to you, then we'll talk about it. Because I've got the answer to many of these problems, including what's going on in New York City. Police have released surveillance footage of the suspected person who shoved a 62-year-old man onto the subway tracks on Sunday. This is a new one, okay? Just weeks after a woman was killed in a similar assault, prompting New York City officials to call for platform barriers at subway stations. The New York Police Department's Crime Stoppers unit released surveillance footage Wednesday of a man in a black hoodie. Man, he looks young, though. He looks to be 15 years old to me. The New York Police Department Crime Stoppers unit released surveillance footage on Wednesday of a man in a black hoodie leaving a subway station shortly after the assault at the platform. The unidentified man allegedly approached a 62-year-old man from behind, pushed him onto the tracks as the train was entering the station. The victim luckily knew to hide in a space under the platform to avoid being hit. Oh my goodness. These are the things you've got to be aware of. You've got to know where to hide by the tracks in case you're pushed there to avoid getting killed. The victim luckily knew to hide in a space under the platform to avoid being hit, but wasn't quick enough and was slammed by part of the train. Oh my goodness. He suffered a laceration and bruising to his left leg before he escaped the tracks and was treated for his wounds. It's unclear if the victim knew the aggressor and what, if anything, prompted the attack. Well, I know the answer to that. The assault comes as transit crimes are skyrocketing, with numerous incidents reported this week alone. Police have released footage of the subway pusher the same day transit officers intercepted an argument between a 17-year-old with a gun and an unidentified person. Police said officers arrested the teen with the gun. Okay, it goes on right now. And this subway pusher looks to be about 15 years old. Okay, I mean, he looks young, 17 at the most. And what they're not telling us in this story, we know the lady that was killed was an Asian woman, Asian American. This guy that was pushed on the tracks that survived, they're not telling us what his ethnicity is. Is he Asian? Is he white? Is he black? But since we have the surveillance picture, we know that the subway pusher in this instance is also African American. I'm telling you why this is happening. The left have so brainwashed African American young men and women to be racist that they feel justified in killing these people. They feel that non-African American people, whites especially, but they're targeting a lot of Asians also in New York, are out to get them, are hurting them, discriminating against them, taking everything away, that they were brought here in chains, all this rhetoric. And this is why I was talking earlier when Biden says he's going to pick a black woman. He's going to pick someone who's between probably 42 and 55, okay? You get into that generation and younger of African Americans, they think like these subway pushers. They're racist, they hate white people, and they feel justified in doing it because they've been brainwashed into thinking that non-black people are responsible for so many terrible things that we're not responsible for. And these subway pushers, these are strange crimes. These are just killings, or in this case, an attempted murder. These aren't robberies or rapes. These are people that just want to kill people. And this is a new epidemic. You know, most murders are either because of sex or money. Sometimes both, but sex or money. Right? A woman gets murdered, she's sexually assaulted, you assume, and oftentimes they are. Or they're robbed, or a man's robbed. These aren't robberies or sex assaults. These are just racially motivated murders. And it's because of the left, and not just the left in general. I'll be very specific, right? Liberals in government and in the media, like Joy Reid, Tiffany Cross, and others. I believe that Christmas parade massacre was a direct response of Joy Reid and others like her getting that driver worked up after the acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse, and he went and killed a bunch of white people in the Christmas parade. Probably the largest racial hate crime in our nation's history occurred there. Very well may have been. These subway incidents are racially motivated hate crimes as well. There's a story today about the school district somewhere, I don't remember where, it's not important. They're removing To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee's American classic and masterpiece. You know, To Kill a Mockingbird is an amazing book. So why are they banning it? Why are they banning To Kill a Mockingbird? It's pretty simple. And I know other people have hit on this. This is, you know, it's pretty obvious why. It's not racist language inside of the book. It's because even though, you know, Harper Lee, who was very tight with Truman Capote, they had a new, you know, Truman Capote, In Cold Blood, invented the genre of true crime, or at least he's credited as being the father of true crime. Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird wasn't a true crime. It was a novelization of what was going on in America in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s at the time that she was alive. Although she lived long after that, but you understand what I'm meaning. And if you have what grade do they require to read To Kill a Mockingbird? When I was in school, all the girls were always reading To Kill a Mockingbird. I always thought it was a girl's book, you know, because all the girls were just obsessed with To Kill a Mockingbird. That and Little House on the Prairie. But if I'm not sure what year the novel takes place in To Kill a Mockingbird. It's been a long time, but if you were to read To Kill a Mockingbird today, and you can and you look at how the justice system worked and how blacks were treated, and then you look at the system of today, it's a whole different world. Democrats are banning To Kill a Mockingbird not because of racist language inside To Kill a Mockingbird. They want black people today that are in school, that are being educated from kindergarten all the way up through graduate school. They want African Americans to think that America in 2022 is as racist as it was during the time of To Kill a Mockingbird. So they want To Kill a Mockingbird out. Because they read that and they're like, well, things aren't that way today. People don't talk this way today. People don't use that language today. You know. They want them to think that it's still the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the Jim Crow era. That's why To Kill a Mockingbird is being banned. And that's why these subway incidents are happening. That's one of the reasons there's skyrocketing crime nationwide. But in particular, these subway incidents, I believe each and every one of them are racially motivated hate crimes. No doubt about it. And, you know, Biden's going to talk to the mayor about gun control. Guns. They're not using guns to shove people in front of the trains in New York, okay? And this is a big problem. And, you know, if they're going to get this latest subway pusher because the video they have, the pictures are very good. I'm surprised they don't have him already. They'll have him today probably, or at least they probably already know who he is. They're just looking for him. Because anybody that knows him has already called and reported him to the police in New York. If you were to take this subway pusher, any of these subway pushers, and these racially motivated subway pushing hate crimes, and you were to have a discussion with them, they would justify their actions by telling you that they are just doing what has been done to them and their people. These are justifiable revenge killings, totally racial, and that's why it's happening. But I got to tell you, you know, if I were in New York, I would not be on the subway. I would not take the subway. No way in hell. You never know. You know, these people they've gotten, they weren't expecting it. They thought they felt safe, or they wouldn't have been standing by the platform. And boom, people come up behind them, and that's it. They're done. All right, let's take our last break of the second hour. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call from anywhere, 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
I love my MyPillow towels. Unlike other towels, the MyPillow towel absorbs. They're soft to the touch. They come with a 10-year warranty, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Mike Lindell says towels that actually work. What a concept. But don't just take my word for it. Christine from Pennsylvania called live on the radio and shared her experience with her MyPillow towels.
I was just going to say, I bought the MyPillow, my towels, a couple weeks ago, and they are fabulous. They are the best towels I've ever used. They're just the right amount of thickness. They're not too thin, they're not too thick, and they're a great length. They're like longer than your average towel, and they are fabulous, luxurious.
You know, what's amazing to me about the MyPillow towels, Mike Lindell's a genius with his invention. It absorbs the water, and the towel's not soaking wet after.
Yes, exactly.
You know, other towels, the water just kind of lays on top of them. They don't absorb it, and you're just smothering water, smearing it around on your body. Now with the MyPillow towels, what color did you get?
I got the sage green.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
I'm going to order because I love purple, and I'm going to have to get a purple.
Man, my wife likes ordering the purple too, and she says it doesn't match our bathrooms, but she likes the purple anyway, so we're getting purple. Exactly. All right, Christine, thank you so much. The MyPillow towels are normally $109.99, but with our promo code at checkout, Kane, K-A-N-E, just $39.99. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. We needed a new roof, and we knew we needed a new roof, but we just procrastinated. We saw wet spots on the ceilings. We called Tom
Wesley Lewis, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Wesley Lewis. Race baiters like Reed and Cross are in effect accomplices in racial murders because of the rhetoric and hate. That's exactly right. I mean, that was the point I was making for sure. Everyone thank Wesley, by the way. Hey, Sarah's back. Still in the hospital, but she's in the chat.
Inside and out. Everything is beautiful. And I have to tell you, when we get those hard South Florida rainstorms, it is such a pleasure to listen to the raindrops on the roof and not have to worry about it leaking or causing problems. The staff
Excuse me, guys. My throat's a little dry.
Tom answered every question. Call Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. He does residential and commercial properties, and his cell number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Make sure you tell him Lori Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back, everyone. It is 9 before the top of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. This year, the Steve Kane Show celebrating 45 years on the radio waves of Florida. I was just reading this story during the break. San Jose, I'm assuming that's San Jose, California. Are there any other San Jose's? Yeah, San Jose, as a city, are about to pass a law requiring gun owners to carry liability insurance. Okay. This is insane, people. This is insane. Now, a couple years back, I don't know if they still do this, but I was hearing ads, and it seemed like it was coming out of the Dana Loesch and the NRA, but I may be incorrect about that, offering gun owners liability insurance. And even the insurance that they were offering, I don't know about this requirement in San Jose requiring liability insurance, but there was liability insurance being offered for sale to legal gun owners. And part of the coverage would include a legal defense coverage if you used your gun in self-defense and were brought to trial. As a gun owner, buying insurance of any kind that would cover liability or legal defense is bad news. It's bad news, and I'll tell you why. God forbid you have to use your gun in self-defense. I mean, I know a lot of gun owners, and I don't know too many people that have had to use their gun in self-defense. I do have a friend who was he concealed carry, and he was at an ATM, and some guys came up behind him, and he saw them in that little mirror they have on the ATM, and they were going to rob him. And he lifted up his shirt to show his gun. And they didn't rob him. They got in the car and drove off. But most gun owners don't use their gun in self-defense, and hopefully you never will have to. Nobody wants to have to do that. Well, hopefully no one. But if you have insurance, liability insurance, and insurance that covers your legal defense in case you use your gun legally and you're arrested, the prosecutors will use that as premeditation. They'll say, this gun owner was so ready to use their gun, they bought insurance so they would have adequate legal defense and wouldn't have to pay for damages. that insurance will get you sent to prison, in my opinion. So do not, under any circumstances, and my opinion, buy insurance that involves protecting you from legally using your gun. If you're using your gun legally and it's, to save your life, to defend your life, you're not going to have any problems, okay? But they will definitely say premeditation. He even had his legal defense in advance covered. So I know it sounds like a good idea, and when I first heard, and I like Dana Loesch. I saw Dana Loesch at that CNN town hall in person after the Parkland shooting, and she is a tough lady. They were in her face doing terrible things, especially during the commercial breaks from CNN, and she took them on and was fearless, Dana Loesch. But I for some reason, I think she was advertising that insurance. That's just my opinion. You get whatever you want. But these are very, very devious people. Now, Saturday night is the Trump rally in Texas. President Trump's actually doing 2 events that day. There's this American Freedom Rally, which is a private ticketed event. Don Jr. and others are going to be there. He's going to be speaking there prior to the rally on Saturday. So even though that first one, I don't know if it's going to be televised or on Right Side or anything, because it's a ticketed event. But that doesn't mean it won't be visible. So Trump is doing 2 big events on Saturday in Texas. 2. The rally and then the American Freedom rally with Don Jr. and some others. I've forgotten who's going to be there. So didn't I tell you he'd be starting to do multiple things a day? That's when things are going to really start to change. So whatever your plans are for Saturday, cancel them. In fact, I had plans to go somewhere Saturday during the day. I've canceled them because I didn't know if I'd be home in time to catch the beginning of the Trump rally. So I canceled my Saturday plans. I'm going to be home all day and night on Saturday. I do not want to miss this. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Now, you want to watch the Trump rallies live, not recorded. When you watch it live, it's better than watching it the next morning. It's not the same thing. Experiencing it live is a much different thing. I don't know why, but it is. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. If you're on hold, stand by. It's time to check in with Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace in Pompano with the Morning Health Report. Janet Cimarelli, good morning.
Morning, Brian, and we've got events going on at AJ's. Oh my goodness, this weekend. And so on Thursday, we've got somebody called the Hair Fairy. Yeah, and she's coming in, and she's going to put little strands of glistening something. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out tomorrow, because when I do Health Matters, the Hair Fairy is going to call in, and she's going to tell me exactly what she is going to be doing, and she's going to be at AJ's on Saturday, and then on Friday, Friday, the radio show, we have both the Hair Fairy and the Medical Intuitive calling in just to tell people what they do. And on Sunday, the Medical Intuitive is going to be at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. Today, what I want to tell everyone, I will be at Festival Marketplace, AJ's Natural Wellness Shop, from 12 to 5. And when I get there, I will be in possession of a number of sheets of paper that talk to people about X39 patches, wearables. So if you are kind of tired of swallowing a great number of different supplements, swallowing all kinds of vitamin C and D and zinc and all of that, that's very, very, very important. But if you want to raise your glutathione levels, the wearables that I will be having with me, the X39 patches, raise your glutathione levels by 300% in 24 hours. The other thing that I've been getting feedback about is blood pressure. So one of the things that happened when I began using the X39 wearable, my blood pressure went down.
Wow.
So high that I was on any kind of medication, but it went down. My husband, who was on blood pressure medication, 2 of them, he went with his doctor, talked to his doctor, and they took away 1 medication, and then his blood pressure continued to reduce, and he is now on 1/4 of the prescription medication that he had been using prior to the introduction of the X39.
Wow.
You have blood pressure issues, circulation issues, headaches, wound healing problems. If you want to make sure that your glutathione is the most supported it can be, because we know glutathione is going to keep you from getting seriously ill with COVID. The highest glutathione levels, those individuals seem to do the best when
Okay, so Janet, you're going to be at so today you'll be Janet Cimarelli. You will be at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop between 12 and 5 today. Okay, so stop by and talk to Janet. By the way, Janet Cimarelli is always available for free consultation. She's a licensed nutrition counselor. Although the consultation, she does ask that you make an appointment for, and they do book up. So if you stop by today and Janet's too busy to have a one-on-one with you, you can make an appointment while you're there to do that, or you can call ahead and make an appointment. Here's the number: 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851. AJ's Natural Wellness Shop, located in the Festival Marketplace. The festival is just east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road in Pompano. And AJ's is so easy to find. Head straight back towards the food court. When you're in front of the food court, look west. When you see the information booth, that's a great landmark. AJ's is right there in front of the information booth. All right, Janet, have a great day. We'll finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. It's 8 a.m., 2 hours down. The show flying by. 1 hour to go. My name is Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show. Back right after this.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, folks. Dr. Matez here. Now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue...
No, I don't do clickbait, Douglas. Brian needed a topic to discuss.
That's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including
No,
state-of-the-art treatments for
that's not. I do not do clickbait, Douglas.
women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van. At the other shops, $175.
Rich Me, Rich You, $5 super chat. Thank you. Everyone, please thank Rich Me, Rich You for that $5 super chat.
Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price
My orange laptop, my daughter got me this cover for my laptop. This is the best If I took this off, this laptop looks brand new under this.
Good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive, and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate.
I'm going to talk about Douglas's comment.
Throughout South Florida, from
I was going to talk about something else, but I'm going to talk about Douglas's comment.
South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE.
All righty, 3 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Welcome back. 2 hours down, less than an hour to go. And man, you know, in the first hour of the program, we were talking about how the Democrats are forcing Stephen Breyer to retire, and how Kamala is on the top of the list of Supreme Court picks. And someone in the chat room on YouTube during the break, Douglas, he wrote, Brian needed a topic to discuss. He knows Harris won't be on the Supreme Court. Okay, I don't do clickbait, I don't do contrived controversy, and I am never without something to talk about. No. Yeah, so let me just state what my view is on this and what is going on, okay? The Democrat Party is in a state of collapse, all right? A state of collapse. They are the two top people in the Democrat Party are Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi. Number 3 is Kamala. Usually vice presidents don't matter that much, but Joe Biden is a failure as a president. And this should not come as a surprise to Democrats. Even Barack Obama said everything Joe gets involved in, he F's up. Every decision Joe makes is the wrong decision. And, you know, he's been in charge of nothing his entire life. Now he is, and everything is in collapse, right? Supply chain issues, energy prices, COVID's been a disaster for him. He just lost the war in Afghanistan, leaving thousands of Americans behind as hostages. You know, a reporter asked Jen Psaki yesterday if the United States is relying on the Taliban to return our left-behind American citizens. He's amping up a warlike situation in Ukraine. He even told Putin that a small incursion would be okay. He didn't say what a small incursion is, 50 miles, 150 miles, 500 miles, I don't know. But he even gave Putin the okay to invade Ukraine during his disastrous press conference. And the decline of Biden in the last year has just been dramatic. That press conference that he thinks made him look good because he stood up there for an hour and 50 minutes and didn't fall completely asleep. He thinks he looks great. He looked very bad through the whole thing, and it got worse the longer it went on, especially with the James Rosen from Newsmax TV question. So they know that 3 years from now, because of the decline he's had in the last year, that he's going to be practically wheelchair bound by the end of the term, that they can't run him. Because Kamala Harris is the sitting vice president, and because of her age, she is entitled to run for the nomination. They want her out of the way. They've been trying to get rid of her for quite some time, and everything the Democrats have been doing is paving the way for Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton's not their first choice either. Their plan was to have Governor Cuomo, but Governor Cuomo had to resign over sex scandals. He's done. Even though he still may run in the primary, they've got no one. And they don't have Joe. And they need Kamala out of the way because she's not just stupid, she's not just incompetent, she's not liked. Remember, she even dropped out of the Democrat primary because she only had 1% of support among Democrats. So they want her out of the way. And she's not going. Okay? There has been talk for about 6 months of nominating her for the Supreme Court if there was a vacancy. She is at the top of the list right now. There's other names too, but she's at the top of the list for consideration for the Supreme Court. They're trying to get her to accept a nomination to the Supreme Court to get her out of the vice presidency so Joe can appoint Hillary Clinton or someone else that they believe is electable if they were to get the nomination in 2024. Now, that's not to say Kamala's going to be on the Supreme Court. Jill Biden hates Kamala. Hates Kamala. And this thing the other day when Joe Biden professed his love for Kamala Harris made it even worse. Nancy Pelosi doesn't like her either. First off, they don't respect her. They don't respect her because everyone knows how she got to where she's at, being Willie Brown's girlfriend. And the first time that Nancy Pelosi met Kamala was at a political event in San Francisco when she was introduced to her by Willie Brown as his girlfriend. You think she's going to let someone like that be greater than her as President of the United States? No way. Jill hates her because of the homewrecker situation, but also because the humiliation she gave to Joe in that first debate. So anyway, I'm not saying she's going to make it to the Supreme Court. She's got a lot of baggage behind her, including what I was talking about in the first hour was this. They brought Tulsi Gabbard into the second Democrat debate to train an old senile man, Joe Biden. But when she was up against Tulsi Gabbard, she was humiliated. And Tulsi Gabbard brought up a crime committed by Kamala Harris, a pretty serious one at that. And she mentioned the name of the case. I don't remember it, but this is the kind of thing that would come up during a confirmation hearing or discussion of her facing a confirmation hearing. Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat, said that Kamala Harris withheld evidence from the court in a death penalty case that her office was prosecuting. That's pretty hardcore. That people go to prison for that. Plus, I'm sure there's more, that she didn't just do something like that once. And it's very possible that this talk of her, and I was surprised the 5 and others immediately were talking about this. It was even asked to Jen Psaki in the White House press briefing yesterday, will President Biden nominate Kamala Harris to the Supreme Court? And Psaki would not deny it. So the White House is allowing this to go out. A Supreme Court nomination or talk of her being on a short list may very well be just a way for them to humiliate her publicly with all of these scandals like the one Tulsi Gabbard brought up, covering up evidence in a death penalty case she was prosecuting, to stop her from running for the nomination in 2024. They want her out of the way for Hillary Clinton. And this very well may be that. Because and God help her if she goes to a confirmation hearing. Kamala Harris will be humiliated beyond imagination in a confirmation hearing because the Republicans are going to be ready for that. And the way that she behaved with Brett Kavanaugh was disgusting. So, typically, when somebody's nominated for a cabinet job or something like this who comes from the Senate, they get treated very much more respectfully than someone who wasn't in the Senate, because she was in the Senate. She's the president of the Senate today. And also, when you have a woman who's a minority woman at that, they get treated typically nicer in a Senate hearing than somebody else. But because Kamala Harris was so nasty to Brett Kavanaugh, those restrictions are gone. There is no expectation other than to treat her with the same level of disrespect that she treated Kavanaugh. So Kamala Harris, if she went through a confirmation hearing, she wouldn't make it through. She would not get confirmed by the Senate. And in the process, she would be so humiliated and so exposed, her political career would be over. That's what I'm saying may be at play here. And, it's not up to Kamala to not accept the nomination. If it leaked out of the White House that Biden's going to nominate her, she has to accept it. She would look ridiculous if she didn't. So this is but she would not get. I don't think Joe Biden can get anyone confirmed to the Supreme Court. Okay, he is so unpopular. They got a 50-50 split. I don't see Manchin and Sinema siding with Biden on anything. The Arizona Republican Party just censured Sinema. They've been calling Sinema and Manchin racist and other terrible things for months and harassing them both for months. Now all of a sudden, they're going to go along with the team of people and confirm part of the team that was doing these terrible things to them the last few months? I don't think so. I don't think Biden can get anyone confirmed, Kamala or anyone else, to the Supreme Court of the United States. They would make it wait until after the midterm elections when we have a Republican Senate. And right now they couldn't get someone through, but when we have the majority, we could see a vacancy for quite some time. And there's another possibility. Stephen Breyer Have you seen him come out and say, I'm retiring? I haven't seen that happen. He could not retire. You know, this leak of an announcement, it's been widely reported in multiple sources that Stephen Breyer was furious that they didn't let him have his moment, that they jumped the gun and announced the retirement before him. He could very well push this off and say, I'm going to wait a little longer, or just not move forward with it. He doesn't have to retire because it's in the news today. He could sit there forever if he wants, or just put it off. So no, the Democrats are in disarray, and there's a few things going on with them right now. But an overall thing with the party is they're very concerned about 2024, especially with Trump announcing that he's running now, right? With that, you were playing that clip on the golf course. You know, that I watched the full. Did you see the video of Trump on the golf course when he said he's the 45th and 47th president? You saw this? I played it at the end of the show yesterday. This morning, I watched the whole video, and this was on television and was all over social media yesterday, but they edited, when he says, and 47th, they stopped the video on television, and even on these clips I saw on Twitter yesterday. I watched the whole video today, and you get to see Trump take his swing. That was one of the best swings I've ever seen. It was a perfect swing, and I don't know how many yards it went, but it went straight and far. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't hit a ball like he did yesterday. But anyway, that's what's going on here. There is so much disarray and infighting. President Trump always says, say what you want about Democrats, they always stick together. Well, that's not the case anymore. They're in complete chaos. There's a civil war inside the Democrat Party. There's different factions, and they're all at each other's throats. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to take our first break of the third hour of the program today. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back right after this.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your
Steve Kane Show.
envelope ready for the next season.
Oh, John. Steve Kane Show.
All types of roofs, from
Hey, Barry.
asphalt, clay,
Jacqueline, are you talking about My Pillow? You can order My Pillow over the phone if that's what you're asking. Yeah, the number to order My Pillow over the phone is 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane still.
Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, 17 minutes after the hour, you're listening to the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, very often when I talk to you guys, we talk about issues involving end-of-life issues and disability
Thank you, Cassandra.
issues, especially when you're older. But planning can also be done and should also be done for our younger citizens as well. For example, for those of us who have minor children, it's very important to make sure you do the proper planning to make sure that if, God forbid, anything happens to the parents, that we have people who are named who could take over as guardians for those children in the short term and the long term. And also just not only if they pass away, but if they become incapacitated, we need to look at that as well. And then another issue that occurs with our younger citizens is, what about at that time that they're just going from being minors to majority, where right around high school, college age, they're going away to school, and now they're turning 18, they're away at wherever, let's say if they're in Gainesville or Tallahassee or out of state, and now all of a sudden, God forbid, something happens and they need care, or they need, when I say they need care, when they need somebody to make a decision, maybe a healthcare decision or a legal decision or something, and if they're over 18, we need to make sure that they have their healthcare documents, that they have their power of attorney in place. So these are some of the issues that we don't often talk about, but it's very important to make sure that if we have children of these ages, it's very important consideration.
Yeah, and the last 2 years, everything we've been going through, it really lets people know. And in fact, when you have young kids, people just take it for granted. Oh, they have that. They think they're going to live forever. Things happen that we've learned in the last 2 years. So you want to take care of everything. And the Siegel Law Group, it's a completely free consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. Here's the number: 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, have a great day. We'll finish out the week tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, take care. All right, let's go back to our phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, hey, Joellen, what's up?
Hi. So I apologize if somebody else brought this up, but, Breyer is supposed to make that announcement today. So you're saying that, he could not or hold off on it.
Well, even if he makes the announcement, he's not bound by it. It's not legally binding. If he says today, I'm retiring, I'm going to leave in June, that doesn't mean he has to leave in June. You understand? He's there. He's got a lifetime appointment.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out what he says today.
Well, what I'm telling you is it doesn't matter what he says today. He's not bound by it. It's not a legal thing. He could say, I'm resigning tomorrow, and tomorrow not resign. He's got a lifetime appointment. And I'll tell you, they answer to no one on the Supreme Court, and they did piss him off yesterday. So regardless of what the public face is, doesn't mean he's not pissed off behind the scenes. And let me tell you, he was appointed by President Clinton. President Clinton is a Reagan-like conservative compared to the new age of Democrats. So when they say Stephen Breyer's a liberal, and I know he's ruled with the liberals, he's not a liberal like the Squad, right? So, he may want input, even though silently, or may not approve of who they are appointing to replace him, because unlike Ruth Bader Ginsburg, he's alive and alert, and he may not like when they start picking people to replace him. He may not like someone who's that radical taking over his seat.
He is some kind of okay.
Well, I mean, they don't. He's because it's up to him when to leave. He doesn't have to leave until he's dead. He could be in the ICU. He could be in hospice care for 5 years. Look at Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and not give up the seat.
I have to say, I never even heard of him. I never even knew he was on the Supreme Court. Which,
sad. Yeah, before he was on the Supreme
Court. And I checked my email, and after what happened yesterday, I've just lost my job of 25 years because I won't.
Well, what do you do for work?
Industry here in Hollywood.
Well, what do you do in the entertainment industry?
I take care of performers.
Mm-hmm.
But it's union, and they've decided here in Hollywood that you have to continue to get shot, and I don't want any. I've lost my job.
That's terrible. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's. Are you? I know you seem upset about it. How long have you been doing this?
25 years.
Do you have enough time in the union where you can get like a pension?
No. It's only if you are on tour.
That's amazing. It's sad. It's really sad. Here you got, Alec Baldwin killed a woman and on set and shot a director on set, and he still can work. right? You know, this is a big thing in Hollywood. A lot of people are in your position in Hollywood. There must be a group of people like you that have been. Can you go to the union?
There's 3 of us that I'm aware of that have made this decision. I'm hoping that after things settle down in a year or so, maybe I'll be back.
Well, what have they been doing? Have they been requiring like weekly testing lately? What have they been doing? What has been your? Are you vaccinated at all?
I did the first one, the first vaccine, and then after that, it was like I'm done. I did.
Did you get both for the first? For the first vaccine? Did you get both shots or just one?
I just did J&J.
Okay, the J&J is 1 shot and you're done? Okay, so by Dr. Fauci's standards, you're fully vaccinated, right? By Fauci's standards.
They've changed the rules that you're not complete now without having boosters.
Oh my goodness.
Times a week, and you have to wear a mask. And
well, what exactly do you do? Like, what kind of productions do you work on, and what specifically do you do?
I'm afraid to say anything.
No, I'm not asking you for your name or anything. What I'm wondering is, are there any other places where you could go work? Could you go to? Not the entire entertainment industry is not in California. In fact, a lot of it's outside of California because they want to avoid the union fees and everything that it costs them. I mean, you know, could you? What do you do exactly?
Well, I could actually go back to where I started. I started dressing at Disneyland.
Okay, you go to Disney. You work in costuming. So you could go. Okay, so you know they probably don't pay very much though at Disney. They're like slave laborers from what I understand. But yeah, I mean I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. I mean I'm in Florida and luckily we have a great governor here. That is not allowing that to happen.
I'm really sorry to hear that they're controlling what medication.
Well, you know, in California, what politically, where do you are you like a conservative? You a liberal?
Conservative.
Always, or is this new?
No, this is my husband and I both are very patriotic, and we.
Yeah, you can't be a Democrat and be patriotic. Being patriotic is counter to the Democrat philosophy. I'm serious. You know, it's amazing to me because in California, if you went to any production you worked on, the liberal women on set have been saying their entire lives, my body, my choice, my medical decisions are between me and my doctor and no one's business but mine. And now they've seemed to change that tune a little bit.
The part about this is the fact that, you know, I love these people. I love my job. I'm good at what I do. And I do feel it is my body, my choice. Felt that way. And then all of a sudden, yeah, like you said, the tables have been turned.
Do they allow religious exemptions? No.
And then when all this nightmare started, that's when I found you. And I couldn't sleep at night because we were all stressed out. We all thought we were going to die. And so that's when I found you in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I wish I had something on, but like I say, Disney, cruise ships, you know, what are the requirements in New York?
Son, and I want to stay home.
Oh, yeah.
That I don't want to have to travel. So we're just going to...
See, this is what I don't get. Alec Baldwin killed a woman on a set, shot another, and he's free to work, and he's free walking around and everything, and someone like you're vaccinated. Now they have another requirement, and you're out of work. And you're not a millionaire, I'm assuming, like Alec Baldwin. No. Yeah, boy, I'm so sorry.
Thank you for being there and allowing us to talk and discuss what's going on in the world. And it's just nice to have somebody to listen to in the middle of the night who you feel the same things about what's going on and the craziness of it all.
Yeah. You watch on YouTube? Yeah. All right. Well, keep us updated, and if you find work, let us know. Has your last day happened? You're not welcome back?
The email came, when I woke up, the email had come saying that I was released for the rest of the time. So
is it I don't want to tell us what it is, but is it stage, movie, TV? What is it you're working on?
Just want to leave it.
Oh, okay. Because this works both ways. Maybe we shouldn't be so supportive of the industry if they're doing this to people. There's a new blacklist out there in Hollywood. Hollywood has forever talked about the blacklist in the 1950s and how horrible it was, taking away people's ability to earn a living in their profession. And now we're seeing the Hollywood's brought another blacklist in. And I'm so sorry, but I wish I could help you.
Frustrating is they're getting their directives from the LA Health Department, and the decisions they're making, where I'm making decisions from the research that I'm seeing, especially I watched the 5-hour Second Opinion with Ron Johnson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the LA Health Department, my goodness, I mean, look at how unhealthy Los Angeles is with the homeless in the streets, unrelated to this. Do they have the same requirement for the homeless in the homeless camps? I don't think so.
Red light, and a guy came out of a tent and he started juggling a hatchet next to me.
Yeah. Listen, I've got to run, but I'm so sorry. But keep us updated if things develop.
Thank you, sir. Thank you again for being there.
Thank you. Oh boy. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back right after this.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWE.
All right, welcome back. Oh, that was a rough call. 33 minutes after the hour, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Ian from Southern Illinois.
All right, Illinois. What's up?
I just was going to try to have an objective conversation and hear you out. I'm on the fence politically, and I'm not trying to troll you or anything.
Okay.
I'm confused. I'm not.
Oh, well, I'm gonna let me help unconfuse you. What has you on the fence, and what are you on the fence about?
Okay, well, for one thing, people that are younger like me, we don't understand why marijuana should be illegal.
How younger? How old are you?
I'm 35.
Yeah. Okay. You don't understand how marijuana why it should be. Well, it's virtually legal everywhere in the country these days, unfortunately. What's your other thing you're on the fence about?
All right. Well, I don't agree with about 80% of the left's kind of agenda, but the one thing I do agree with is renewable energy. Like, I don't see how that is a political issue to me. And to what extent
Renewable energy? Like, give me an example of renewable energy that you support.
Okay, well, just using anything from tidal energy to solar energy to anything that's not oil, that's oil dependent, you know.
Well, what's wrong? What is wrong with oil?
Question is, what is wrong with renewable energy?
It because okay, I'll answer your question first. I'm not going to talk about drugs, okay? Because if I start talking to you about legalizing marijuana, all the potheads like yourself will call in, and the rest of the show will be about marijuana. You know, when's the last time you got high, by the way?
Maybe a week ago.
Yeah, are you high now? Okay. You said you support. Why do we support? Okay, so you want to know why we? Well, you sound high, but you want to know why we support oil over solar energy. Okay, if you slow down. Why do we support oil over solar energy? If you were to get, because of the money, no. If you were to get in, let me finish. Okay. If you were to get in your car to go buy your weed, tell me how a solar-powered car gets you to the pot store or to the drug dealer. How does that? How, as opposed to the one that runs on gas?
I don't even like. Is that an actual question? This kind of like tone that you have, like you're actually demonizing listeners.
I'm not demonizing anyone. I'm asking you to explain to me how a solar-powered car works.
Well, for starters, it wouldn't necessarily have to be solar panel car. I mean, you can clearly see that.
Well, what energy would power my car to be able to drive to work and everything, other than oil?
Electric.
How does the electric made? The electric is made in plants that are powered by coal most of the time. So that's the same thing.
Brian, so are you saying that 100 years from now, we're just not going to make the shift to renewable energy?
No, coal. Electric doesn't work. You know, and I'll tell you, I've given this example before. It's amazing. My brother-in-law has a Tesla. He drove it to Disney World, 3-hour drive from the house. He had to stop halfway and charge the car up. And because it's not enough, you know, you can't get around, you know. If I'm sitting around my house smoking weed all day and I don't have to go places, you know, the electric car is cool because I don't leave my house. I just, you know, I'm playing video games and getting high all day like your friends. But if you're a productive person, you don't have time. You don't have time to pull over for 2 hours and charge up your car.
You know, you make little funny caveats, but what you do is isolate voters when you make plays.
Isolate. I know. I didn't know I was that powerful. And another thing about, okay, so you said why not solar? Why oil? I used to have. Excuse me. Slow down. I live in Florida, which is the Sunshine State. You've heard Florida referred to as the Sunshine State? You're in Illinois. I'm in Florida. Why do they call Florida the Sunshine State?
I have no idea.
Well, because we have lots of sunshine, right? We have lots of sunshine. We have more than anyone else. I used to have DirecTV. You know, the satellite dish, DirecTV? I canceled DirecTV long ago and never went back to it. Why do you think that is? Why did I it's cheaper than regular cable. Why do you think I canceled DirecTV? because every time a cloud went over my house, I lost the signal between the satellite dish and the satellite, and I lost my picture on the television. And when it's rainy, which we have hurricane season and rainy season, I didn't have any TV either. So if I'm powering everything by solar power, how do I power my home at night or when it's raining or when the clouds are over? It's just not practical.
Sure, and it might not be practical right now, but I think that anybody with a brain can tell we're not 50 to 100 years from now, we're not going to be dealing with oil and coal.
That's not true. In fact, when cars were new, like in the early 20th century, they had electric cars. And this is back in the early 20th century when cars were new. There were electric cars back then, totally electric. And there was a battle between, if cars only went like 25 miles an hour back then, and they didn't go far, and there weren't very many paved roads, and there was a battle between if cars were going to be powered by electric or gas, and gasoline obviously won out because the batteries wouldn't provide a long enough charge to make the car practical where you could drive great distances. Here we are over 100 years later, and the battery technology has now progressed enough to have electric cars. And even electric cars are powered by fossil fuel plants, power plants.
I wanted to also say that because I'm not disingenuous on what I'm saying. I'm sorry it took kind of a little hostile turn, but
nothing's hostile. You're just a stoner. That's all. So you're thinking like a stoner.
Well, I do have 7 degrees, but I'm not.
Oh, you have 7 degrees? What? You have 7 degrees. That's interesting. What are your degrees in? Oh no, this is great. You have 7 college degrees. What are they? Go through them. You said you had 7 college degrees. What are they?
Right. Okay. Well, for starters, I am a.
No. What are I want to know what the degrees are in. You said I have 7 degrees.
No, because then you're going to call me a liberal, and you're.
No, I'm not going to call you a liberal. Let's go through it. Let's go through. What's the first degree? The first of the 7.
Why did you support that and tell all your viewers to?
Well, because no, you're not going to change the subject. You said you have 7 college degrees. Uh-huh. So tell me the first one of your 7 degrees.
No, I'm not going to.
No, you're not going to tell us. You're not going to tell us? Uh-huh. Okay, thank you very much for your call. Oh my goodness. 7 degrees, but he won't tell us what any of them are. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, good morning, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Michelle from North Carolina.
Hey, Michelle. I'm doing all right.
Hey, a little feedback on the lady that called in that was in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Is also in the entertainment industry in Baltimore.
Jacqueline, $20 super chat. Thanks. I want to thank Jacqueline.
She works behind the scenes in wardrobe.
Oh, the nutritionist?
But she is in a union through
here's the number
which is filtered out in New York.
for Janet.
She also has to and is required to get every vaccination that is available, and she is also subject to daily testing, as well as wearing masks the whole time she's inside the theater.
And they do it. Yeah.
So we as a family are pretty upset that every time a new one comes out, it's either her job on the line or she has to.
Well, when you work in, this is the deal, okay? Florida, where are you calling me from?
North Carolina.
Okay, yeah, okay, you're in North Carolina. Florida is expected to become the most populated state in the next few years. So many people are moving here for many reasons, right? We have no state income tax, the weather's great, but mainly in the last 2 years, they're coming to Florida for freedom. And, this show, the Steve Kane Show, all right, this is the longest running radio show in Florida. And Steve and I have a 2-man band. Steve and I do almost everything. Steve's wife, Lori, handles some of the business ends of things. But we basically have a 2-man band. If we were in California or New York, this show the business plan for this show would not work because of the unions. I do the job, and I'm not bragging on myself or showing off here, but this is true. I do the job of several union workers, right? I'm on the air. That's one union. I'm running the board. That's another union, right? I handle things on the business side of things. I do the call screening. I do like 3 to 4 different union jobs, maybe 5 or 6 even, I'm doing. And if we were in New York or California, the union, even though radio, there's a union, would require us to have 3 or 4 other workers that we don't need, right? And the business plan of the Steve Kane Show would probably not operate under such a situation. So what I'm telling you is that people that are in the entertainment field need to leave California and New York and go to other places where they call it, like Florida is called a right to work state, which is a terrible phrase. It means you have the right to work without being a member of a union. And that's why Howard Stern has a mansion down the street from Mar-a-Lago. Rush Limbaugh did his show from his house down the street from Mar-a-Lago. These uber wealthy people live here because the union requirements and and no state income tax. So you got to get out of these tyrannical states and come to places like Florida and Texas that are free. Like Joe Rogan left California with his whole... Joe Rogan took his whole operation and moved it here. Newsmax TV is based here in Florida. Down the street from the radio station are the corporate headquarters of Newsmax TV. Right down the street. I drive by it all the time. You know, and you've got to operate in places where the unions don't have this crazy amount of control. I mean, and I know it's tough, and I feel really bad for I have no help to offer her, and I know she's got a life and a family and a husband and kids in school there, and that's a terrible situation, and I know she can't just pack up her troubles and move to Florida, but that's the problem. You know, you live in these Democrat states, and this is what you get.
That's right, that's right. Yeah, we've been trying to get her to move to North Carolina and get out of Maryland, but she's pretty much grounded.
Yeah. And North Carolina, by the way, crime-wise, is one of the safest states, and I'll tell you why. Every cop I've ever known in Florida, when they retire, moves to North Carolina. I don't know why. I don't know why they leave Florida, but they all go to North Carolina.
That's it.
I'm serious.
Here in North Carolina, they have a leniency on income tax for retirement of military and law enforcement. So.
Oh, maybe that's why. Yeah, maybe that's something to do with it. All right, hey, listen, take care. Thanks for the call. We'll take our last break of the day, come back with the Gold Report. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
Brian Craig here. You've heard us talk about the great low prices.
Did you get the number, Jacqueline?
New tires and used tires.
Yeah, AJ's Natural ship everywhere. I'll give it this is Janet Cimarelli's business card. Hey there. Now, you're closed tomorrow. Are you going to call in tomorrow? Okay, great. Hold on. That way, if you missed it, Jacqueline, you can rewind and catch it.
Give Mike at Friendly Tire a call right now. I'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Don't waste time going anywhere else. You will never find prices as low as Friendly Tire in Margate. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, 48 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the Florida airwaves this year, the Steve Kane Show. But now it's time to check in with someone who's been in business even longer than the Steve Kane Show, and that's William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. In fact, William Youngerman in business since 1967, right?
Yes, indeed.
Wow. All right, so how the metals looking today, William Youngerman?
Metals have pulled back for the last 2 days now and giving us a great buying opportunity, Brian. The stock markets and all of the markets have been in wild gyrations over the Fed's saber rattling of the hike in interest rates, and et cetera, and that's causing real chaos in the market with a lot of turmoil, people trying to figure out what position they should be in, where they should stand in all these markets, and the precious metals, of course, is getting hit with that same kind of nervousness. That gives us the buying opportunity because we buy precious metals with strong hands, not with weak hands, and so we don't margin it, we don't hedge it, we buy it for cash, and we hold it as an insurance policy. So that's what we tell everybody: do not margin your accounts or anything when it comes to precious metals. This is something you never want to be in a position where you have to sell, but if you have the opportunity to need it, you'll have it there as an insurance policy against financial crises. And so that being said, we've got gold down $28.50 yesterday after trading in a range of $1,815 all the way up to $1,851, and then closing at $1,819.40 the ounce. Silver was down 30 cents to $23.50, while platinum was up $5 at $1,028, and palladium was up $125 at $2,262. This morning we got some follow through on this pullback, going down and testing that $1,800 number for gold, and so far we're holding very good at $1,803. That's still down $16.40. Silver down 64 cents at $22.85. Platinum down $15 at $1,013, and palladium down $70 at $2,192. Oil over $88 a barrel now, highly inflationary, and pretty much. We're faced with where the Fed's going with these higher interest rates and really how much they're talking about, and that should maybe slow down some of the inflation, but I really doubt it because higher interest rates mean higher debt to the U.S. company, USA, which means our deficits are going to be financed at a much higher rate, and that's very problematic going forward. So. As they say, the old expression, the Fed and the country is between a rock and a hard place, and the truth is the system is broken, and the only insurance you can buy is gold.
Yeah, that's right. And when William Youngerman talks gold, he's talking about the kind you can hold in your hand, not those gold stocks, right? Yeah, don't get any of that. Now, can you talk to people who may not be able to make it in? Maybe they're local and can't make it to the store in Boca, or out of town, out of state, out of country, how you can do business with people and why it's beneficial for them, even out of town, out of state, and out of country, to buy the metals from you.
Yes, indeed. For over 50 years, we've been shipping rare coins and precious metals around the world, and it's easier now than it ever was before. You just pick up the phone, call our 800 number, lock in the price, wire or overnight the funds to us, and the precious metals are out to you the very same day.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any easier, and it's certainly fully insured, and you'll find that our prices are so competitive that you'll want to be doing business with us.
And that includes on the sought after gold eagles, buffaloes, and those silver eagles as well. And everything's available at William Youngerman's for immediate delivery as well. All right, listen, they open up weekdays at 10, although closed this Friday. They are open today. We'll be back open for regular hours on Monday, but closed Friday tomorrow, but open today. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. The address right here in Boca, 150 East Palmetto Park Road. 50 East Palmetto Park Road. And you could tell, the last time he smoked pot was a week ago. Well, it has some lingering effects because he sounded high as a kite to me. But He's a drug addict and a liar with the 7 degrees. And that's just the way it is with Democrats. Most Democrats are Democrats because of something that's immoral in their life. There are a lot of people that are Democrats because they're just not informed. If people are properly informed and they know what's going on in the world, they'd be MAGA too. People that don't support Trump either got something immoral going on in their life, we try to uncover that through the calls, or they're just not informed. You know, and look at your, oops, sorry, I just knocked my microphone cord. Look at your elected officials that are Democrats. Can you tell me, and I mean this, one elected official that's a Democrat that you can say is a lawful, moral person? Can you name one? Public official who's a Democrat that's moral and lawful, not corrupt. I can name 2 Democrats that hold public office that are not corrupt. You know who they are? They're both in the Senate. Senators Manchin and Sinema. Now, maybe they're doing something I don't know about, but they seem like stand-up senators to me. But every other Democrat that holds elected office, at least at the federal level, corrupt. That's right. That's right, like Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, and all the rest. All right, hey, listen, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. Thanks for joining the program. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. And, hey, listen, when it's lunchtime or dinner time, there's only one place to go, and that's Wings Plus on Sample Road in Coral Springs. Wings Plus on Sample Road in Coral Springs has been a sponsor of The Steve Kane Show for about 15 years now, and I was eating there long before that. They have the best wings anywhere. Everything's homemade right there on the spot, including the sauces for all the different wing flavors they have. All homemade right there. The soups, homemade. The chili, homemade. The lobster bisque, the clam chowder, it's all homemade right there at Wings Plus on Sample Road. And you know what? They support our police, and they're great supporters of our wonderful governor, Ron DeSantis, as well. They're located, Wings Plus, on Sample Road, about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. When you stop in, tell Brian he's the owner, that you heard about him on the radio. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow morning, finishing out the week on Friday. My name is Brian Craig. It's The Steve Kane Show. Take care. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. I just hit my microphone cable and made the camera bounce there a minute ago. Make sure that you like the video before you go, and if you're new, subscribe. All right? Talk to you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.